It was a busy afternoon at a well-known restaurant where the tables were packed with customers enjoying their meals. The waitstaff was rushing around, balancing plates and taking orders, while the warm aroma of food filled the air. Among the diners was a man sitting alone at a corner table, wearing a worn-out hoodie and a red MAGA hat. As he picked up the menu, a young waitress named Emily approached his table with a forced smile. "I'm sorry, sir, but we don't serve people like you here," she said, crossing her arms. The man looked up, surprised. "Excuse me?" he asked calmly. Emily sighed, rolling her eyes. "We don't serve people wearing that kind of hat. It makes our customers uncomfortable," she stated with an air of finality. The restaurant fell silent. Nearby diners stopped eating and turned to look, sensing the tension building in the room. The man set the menu down, studying her face. "So, you're refusing to serve me based on what I'm wearing?" he asked. Emily nodded. "That's right." A moment of silence followed, then the man chuckled softly, shaking his head. "All right," he said, rising from his seat. But just as he stood up, another customer gasped loudly. "Wait, is that?" someone whispered. The murmurs spread like wildfire, and suddenly the whole restaurant realized who the man really was. The tension in the air thickened as the realization hit Emily like a tidal wave. The man she had just turned away wasn't an ordinary customer. It was Joe Rogan, the famous podcast host, comedian, and media personality. Gasps filled the restaurant as people reached for their phones, whispering in disbelief. "Oh my God, that's him!" someone murmured. Emily's face drained of color. She had just publicly humiliated a world-famous figure, assuming he was just another problematic customer based on his appearance. Joe smiled, his expression calm but his eyes sharp. "So, let me get this straight," he said, his voice carrying through the restaurant. "You judged me, denied me service, and humiliated me in front of everyone because of a hat?" Emily swallowed hard, suddenly aware that every eye in the restaurant was on her. The restaurant manager rushed out from the back, his face filled with panic. "Mr. Rogan, please, I am so sorry. She didn't know." Joe raised a hand, signaling him to stop. "It's okay," he said, still looking at Emily. "People make mistakes." The room was silent, the weight of his words sinking in. But then Joe did something that left everyone in complete shock. Instead of reacting with anger, Joe reached into his pocket, pulled out a $100 bill, and placed it gently on the table. "This was going to be my tip," he said, looking at Emily. "For you." The waitress stared at the bill, her face frozen in shock. "I believe in freedom," Joe continued, "and that includes the freedom to disagree. But treating people unfairly based on an assumption, that's not how you build a better world." The entire restaurant was now recording, their cameras capturing every word. The manager looked like he wanted to sink into the floor. "Mr. Rogan, please let us make it up to you," he pleaded. Joe chuckled. "You already have," he said, nodding toward Emily. "She just gave everyone here a lesson they won't forget." Emily's hands trembled as she stared at the money, the weight of her mistake crashing down on her. But then, as Joe turned to leave, something even more unexpected happened. A group of customers stood up, applauding. "That's real class," someone said. Another chimed in, "Respect." Soon the entire restaurant erupted into applause. Emily, overwhelmed by the moment, wiped her eyes, realizing she had not only embarrassed herself, but also lost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to serve someone truly influential. Joe stopped at the door, turned around one last time, and gave her a small smile. "Next time, judge people by their actions, not their appearances," he said before walking out. The cameras continued rolling, and within hours the video went viral. The internet was flooded with comments praising Joe's reaction and criticizing the waitress's behavior. Memes, headlines, and opinion pieces spread like wildfire. "Joe Rogan humiliated but handles it like a boss," one article read. The restaurant's reputation took a major hit, and people online demanded that Emily be held accountable. But what happened next was even more surprising. Days later, Emily posted a video online, teary-eyed and remorseful. "I messed up," she admitted. "I judged someone unfairly, and I learned my lesson the hard way." She revealed that she had been suspended from work and was now facing immense backlash. But then, in an unexpected twist, Joe Rogan himself responded to her post. "We all make mistakes," he commented. "What matters is how we grow from them." His comment changed the entire narrative, turning a story of judgment into one of redemption. The restaurant eventually recovered. Emily learned the importance of treating people with